The Cermia's private life event this year, I've been really looking forward to this ever since they announced it. Let's go over how this works first, because this is the first time we've ever had this sort of event, and then we can talk about our actual predictions for Round 1 and Round 2. So basically, every 2 days in the Battle Stadium match prediction, you'll have 2 rounds of matches to take a look at and predict who is going to win. You get a little bit extra for doing your predictions if you're doing normal mode. On challenge mode, you get way more. You can see there's 4 different predictions to make. Which team is going to win, who is going to get the first point / first blood. This is basically which side kills one of the enemies first. Perfect. Does the entire winning team survive? Then a fast match or a slow match. It's a lot higher reward, but it's a lot riskier because if you get anything wrong, then you lose everything. A couple of things we don't know. Can you get away with just not picking anything? I'm not sure about this, because if you did it like this, for example, then this is 1.1, the same thing as 1.5. I'm not sure if like unfilled predictions count as incorrect, especially this perfect one, because there's only a yes, there's not a no here. So if you don't pick perfect, then everything survives. Does it count as a failed prediction? We don't know. We'll find out. I'll probably toss a couple of alt accounts at it and we'll see how it goes. So you get all your coins from your predictions, you go to the lucky chests, you have 4 chests here to pick from, or if none of those things really interest you, you can spend it on the gold instead. First up, we have the Mana Stone chest. This just gives you Mana Stones. It's a really simple calculation. It's literally just 1.2 Mana Stones per chest, and it's guaranteed. So you're guaranteed at least 1 Mana Stone per chest no matter what, so bare minimum. Pretty good value if you really want Mana Stones, and Mana Stones are really nice, especially with like otherworldly gear. Gives you a chance to redo those pieces, especially on some of the greedier pieces on the right side. Catalyst chest, don't do it. And then we have the Charm chest. This chest is really good if you need accessory charms, especially because there's no real method to farm accessory charms. On average, you should expect about 1.366 equipment charms and 1.35 accessory charms per roll of the chest. Combined, this is about 2.716 charms, so pretty good value. And then lastly, Friendship. Friendship is pretty interesting now because there is technically a direct Friendship point to leaf conversion value because of the ability to Friendship farm and giving you leaves at levels 12 and 14. So I took a quick look at it, and you get roughly 3.75 gifts per roll that you do, and 0.845 tributes per roll that you do. So combining this together, you can get all these different sorts of different energy values, because technically, when you run out of units to Friendship farm, you're gonna have to go from level 1 to 14. Veterans probably have a lot from level 10 to 14, so I did do it for both, but the more important one is probably level 1 to 14. You get this amount of energy per gift, or energy per tribute, with gifts giving 30 EXP and tributes giving 100 on element, of course, for both of them. So this is the one from 1 to 14, and you should expect about 40 energy on average per roll. This is probably more of like a niche thing, especially given that, like, what would you spend your energy on? Probably gold. There's also the gold like conversion. I'm not going to calculate the actual like how much gold you would get from this, but the gold conversion here, this is like, it's 200 coins. 200 times this is like what, 20k? I think. Is it 20k or 200? I think it's 20. Anyways, it's not that much gold. I think you would probably get more just from the energy, but if you really don't want to think about it, just buy the charms. It's not that hard. The charms are good value. Just buy the charms. I thought the Friendship thing was kind of interesting. Okay, so now let's take a look at this for real. Round 1, we have this Decorv Nolha Hakati team versus right side. Now right side has Boss Runka and Imperial Olanav against 2 full pen units. Good luck with that. And then DDR is just completely neutered here because Schneel exists. DDR holds Guardian Ice Crystals. That's all he does. And Nurse Yoha is supercharging the Decorv. The question is just, will Boss Runka survive the Decorv? We can kind of just damage calc this. So we're going to take a look at the damage calc. I don't know which one of these is Decorv. I think it's this one. So he has this amount of HP, or that amount of attack, and this amount of HP, plus he's superhuman. The defense on Boss Runka is relevant here because of the pen resistance from Imperial Olanav. One more thing is the Arius gives 10% defense, but there's a bit of speed RNG involved here because Schneel and Yoha are pretty much the exact same speed. If Schneel goes first, he'll put up his S3 and give a ton of defense to Boss Ruka with his S3. We're going to assume that Nurse Yoha goes first just because I think right side loses. So, or I think, not right side. I don't like how the red and blue are flipped. I think red side loses. So we're going to assume that they get the more favorable RNG here. So just the 10% defense from Arius, 30% Penres, and you can see a Soulburn Decorv S3 with Thorn of the Blue Rose does about 20,000 damage. So 20,000 damage, that leaves Boss Ruka at about 5,000 HP, and then you also have the heal kicked in from Cure All Magic Wand, plus you have the barrier from Protection Set from Emily. And then after Decorv goes, Schneel would go next, no matter what, right? So his S3 would go up, and then you would give Indomitable buff plus barrier to Boss Ruka, and then I think he still gives defense buff, yeah, plus defense buff. So that is a lot of stuff going over to Boss Ruka. Let's see how much damage Hakati does. So for Hakati, who is actually over here, this is her attack. And then you don't have the Soulburn, so it's just increased attack because she is on Tome of Life, not on her Thorn of a Blue Rose. Here is the stats. So it's not exactly 10, it's 40 because you have Indomitable buff. It doesn't change that much, but it's only about 6,000 damage. Given that she had like 5,000 HP left, plus the barrier from Prot, plus the Guardian Ice Crystals heal, plus the additional barrier from Schneel S3. This thing's not dying. Also, I didn't put in defense buff. You add in defense buff, and it goes down to 4k. There is one really funny thing that could happen, which is, one, Schneel could be really, really greedy and hold his S3, because you press S1, let out Emily, press S3 first, and then you press S3. That could be a really greedy play to make. Or you could do a really funny thing where Schneel presses S3, and then DDR presses S3 to strip the defense buff plus the barrier, which still wouldn't let you kill Boss Ruka. But it would give Schneel S3 again. What purpose that would serve, I don't know. It would kill your entire team, basically. I think it would be kind of funny. But I think this is the more likely one. This looks like a guaranteed win for blue side to me. The only question is, will Boss Ruka die? Because she definitely survives the first rotation. I don't think there's any question about that. The question is there a world where Decorv gets a second S3? Looking at Decorv's S3 damage, if you take off the Superhuman, where's the Superhuman? If you take off the Superhuman, it's only 5,000 damage. I think Guardian Ice Crystals alone, like, sustains this. Plus, she's going to get a barrier from her S3. You also have, like, Akati's S1 damage, like, kicking in a bit, but, like, this is, like, 4k damage. She might get chipped down. I think this is the hard part. Is it perfect or not? I think with the amount of CR push that Boss Ruka gets as a unit, I think she survives. You also have, like, the defense buff, like I mentioned. Even if, like, DDR strips it, it doesn't matter because Schneel will just put the defense buff and the barrier right back up and he'll kill everything. You also have the bleeds from Nurse Yoha, but I think she'll be fine. The only, like, way she dies is if they somehow accidentally supercharge the Decorv and he gets a second S3 off. Maybe that will kill her. I'm going to just all on this because I think this one is a bit easier to work with. So now for this one is really, really funny. Let's take a look. On the right side, you have a cleave. This is New Moon Luna into push up Euphine S3, kill something, then S2. AoE, double crit will proc Cavil. Cavil will then S2 and then S3 extinct somebody, probably Genesis Ross, or maybe somebody else. But you have Glutton plus Sash. This should push the Bystander Huayang really far up, so you actually don't even have to hit Genesis Ross, because Genesis Ross will be so far behind Huayang that Huayang can just kick, and then he'll die. Basically, if Brightside gets to go, they win. It really is that simple. The wrinkle in that plan is Nurse Yoha on Sword Storm. She's 265 speed. This Euphine is a little bit too slow. She's only 236. She does not push up far enough after Luna presses S3 because she only pushes like 20%. So if Luna presses S3, left side wins. You literally just S3 the Ross, press S3, and everything dies. It's not even close. So Mima Luna is on Refracted Desire, not Tagahel's, which is really, really interesting because this leads me to believe that they're aware of the Sword Art. Instead of pressing S3, we are going to press S2, Death Break the Ludwig. This way, since we're not using it on attack skill, Sword Art won't proc. Yufine pushes up, Yoha does not. Yufine S3 into the Ludwig, one-shot him. Then you get the extra turn, you get to S2, you get the proc Commander Pavel with your second crit. That S2 should kill Yoha, you S3 if she's still alive. And then Luna gets to hopefully seal Flan, you don't have Soulburn here. And then you get to Bystander Hwayoung, S3, whoever's left. One thing with the testing is that Yoha did have like 3,000 more HP than the example Yoha, so we expect that she probably should have died, and this won't happen where Flan gets a turn and gets to kill off your Yufine. However, if the seal misses, then this would happen. So that is one of the sources of RNG for whether or not you actually get to get the perfect match. Usually you would just Cabal S3 Ross and then Bystander Hwayoung S3 Flan directly. I think this one, do you think that whatever is playing this knows to press Luna S2? The thing is, this Refracted Desire here makes me really think that they're like hinting that they're going to press S2, because we also don't know, like, what is this? Is this just like the Nodos Coliseum AIs fighting each other? Is this real people that Smoggy actually set up something funny? Is this taken from like an RTA match or something? We don't know. It's not taken from an RTA match. These stats, by the way, were really hard to match. I had to like do some really horrible things to these units. It's hard to match these stats. This is not a real match. Anyways, also, this Yufine doesn't have effectiveness. Her EE gives her effectiveness. How does that work? But yeah. Does everybody survive? I'm gonna say yes. But there's a bit of RNG on blue side. I think this is like... So, besides just Luna being smart enough to press S2, is she gonna get 15%ed? There's a 15% chance this comp falls apart immediately at the start if you press S2 and you do not land. Maybe we should have went like Bloody Rose or something. And then also, if you don't seal the Flan, I don't know if Flan manages to kill anybody in time. Fast, it's a fast match. This is ending very, very fast. Probably I'm going to roll with that. So that's my prediction. I think top one is safe. It's just, will Bossarunka survive? I'm guessing yes. And then bottom side of the coin flip, will Luna press S3 or S2? It's up to you what you think she's going to do.